Good morning, and welcome to Unity of Bellevue's 10 a.m. meditation service. I'm so glad and indeed grateful that you've chosen to join us in this spiritual practice of meditation. My name is Susan Neidig. I'm one of the prayer chaplains here at Unity of Bellevue, and I'm honored to be your facilitator to lead you through this guided meditation. So we'll start in a few minutes, and I will have the guided part of the meditation, and then we'll have 8 to 10 minutes of silence. And I'll close the meditation with plenty of time for you to prepare for our celebration service at 10:30. The entire service will be about 20 minutes, so that'll give you 10 minutes to prepare for the celebration service. This meditation is about divine presence within, being one with God. It's adapted from a meditation on Principle 2 from the book 5 Principles by Ellen Davenport. Let's take this time together to connect with the awareness of our oneness with God. Let us turn within. If you have a tendency to cross your arms, uncross them now. If you have a tendency to cross your legs, please uncross them now and put your hands in your lap, facing up. Putting your body in a receptive pose so energy can flow freely through your body. Close your outer eyes. In order to be more relaxed, take a deep breath. Squeeze up your shoulders. Tense, 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 and let it go. Feel the relaxation flow through your body. Let's do it one more time. Deep breath in. Shrug your shoulders. Tense, 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 relax. From the voice of the Master, I read, "You have but to turn within in love and adoration, for there I wait. There I have always been. It is within that you shall come and find that the sweetness you have missed has always been there, has always been waiting for you to take it. My love is freely given, and I wait patiently for you to come and receive." As you come into harmony with that invitation to feel the connection with God, imagine a cloud, a mist settling over your body. Think of this mist as peace and love. Feel it gently touching your head. Moving across your face, moving down your neck, across your torso, your entire being is touched by this mist. The feeling of peace and love settle into every part of your body, every cell. Relax and become peaceful, receptive to the oneness of God. Keep your eyes closed and hear my words as if they are your own. With this inward focus, I retreat from outer awareness and enter my soul, the divine in me. It is here that I know my connection to spirit. Deep within, I find the peace that passes all understanding. Deep within, I find the knowledge of all things and the awareness of love and all absolute good. Deep within, I touch the gifts of God. It is here that I receive wisdom and guidance, that I know truth and understanding, that I am strengthened and comforted. As we prepare for the silence, know that thoughts may drift into your awareness. Thank them and let them drift away. Sounds may come in and out of your awareness. Let them move into the background. Remember the divine essence you are. The core of you is God. And from the God within you, you can do anything. Sit with that awareness as we become silent together now. we return to right here, right now, knowing we are one with God, that the divine within each of us is God. Give thanks for this knowing, this deepening of awareness and connection with the One. Give thanks for our being as the One. When you're ready, open your eyes. See everyone in this place and in the world as one with you. Blessings of peace are yours today and always. Take peace into every part of your daily lives, spreading God's love into the world around you. God is peace. We are peace. God is love. We are love. We know that this is true and all is well, and so it is. Amen. Thank you for joining us this morning. The prayer chaplains will have a prayer circle immediately following the celebration service. For those of you in the building, please come join us. For those of you online, there's a special Zoom link to join the prayer circle remotely. So come join us and pray with us. If you'd like us to pray, if you have a prayer request that you want to send to the prayer chaplain, send it to the email address prayerchaplains@unityofbellevue.org. If you'd like us to call and talk or pray with you on the phone, include that in your email. So just give us your phone number and one of us will call you back. Thanks again for joining us. Stay right here. Enjoy the slideshow. The celebration service will start at 10:30. Thank you.
From the darkest place to a higher space, calling from every direction. On every single path I have stood strong and cowered fast. What a strange perception. Well, life is demanding, but I am understanding. The best I could was where I stood for a higher good and a greater truth. Where once it was covered, oh well, now I have proof. There's a bigger lesson, one I never expected, rising up from misunderstood. A higher good, oh yeah. Well, I'm always getting ready on steps that are so unsteady, dancing the same old dances. Oh, well, I'm never really sure how to fit myself through the door. Well, it's all part of taking chances. Well, life is demanding, but I am understanding. The best I could is where I stood for a higher good and a greater truth. Where once it was covered, well, now I have proof. There's a bigger lesson, one I never expected, rising up from misunderstood. Well, I've seen the road at ground level, yeah. There's a wider view, well, fine day, this fine day, for a higher good and a greater truth, where once it was covered. Oh, now I have proof there's a bigger lesson, one I never expected. No, rising up, I am rising up, rising up from misunderstood, a higher good, a higher good, a higher good.
We have come together as a family. We have come here as we are. Yes. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. We sing in celebration. We sing with words of prayer. We affirm all life as sacred. We declare that peace is here. Yeah, yeah. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Ooh. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Let's sing together. Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Ooh. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Spirit is definitely in this place, right here and right now, right where we are. What would Jesus say in love? What would Buddha say on? Rumi says, see yourself in the mirror of me. Dr. King said, dream. Gandhi said, peace. The dial says, you know the truth by looking inside. Inside. Love on. Dream peace. Love on. Dream peace. Love on. Dream peace. What would Jesus say in love? What would Buddha say on? Rumi says, see yourself in the mirror of me. Dr. King said, dream. Gandhi said, peace. The Tao says, you know the truth by looking inside. Inside. Love on. Dream peace. Love on. Dream peace. Love on. Dream peace. Love on. Dream peace by looking inside. By looking inside. By looking inside. By looking inside.
From the darkest place to a higher space, calling from every direction. On every single path I have stood strong and cowered fast.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Bellevue. We know that each person who is here is a bright, shining divine light, a beautiful facet in the divine diamond that exists, and that each of us together contribute to a universal constellation. And none of us can diminish another's light. The more we shine, the more we contribute to the brilliance of everyone else's light. So we here invite you at Unity of Bellevue to shine your light bright and to allow everyone else here to shine their light bright as well. My name is Monica McDowell Elvig. I'm your center administrator. I'm also stepping into some operational duties during this transitional period. We are so glad you are here in person, and here our live streamers, we welcome you with open hearts. We have several people helping to lead our services this morning. We're going to thank our volunteers a little later on in the service, but our service leaders, Susan Neidig, was our meditation facilitator. Thank you, Susan. And she is also our prayer chaplain today. Jean Bombardier is our board host. She's going to be our virtual board host today, so we're looking forward to incorporating that technology into our service. She'll be broadcast onto our screen here. Imam Jamal Rahman is our guest speaker, our favorite Sufi Muslim. I'll be reading his bio a little later. And Becca Palm is stepping in again as our guest artist. We had another COVID cancellation. We are so grateful for her willingness to do this for us. Jamie Sassy is our song leader as well, and they are going to kick us off with our community song.
Good morning, everybody. Please stand as you're able and join in. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. here. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
We invoke divine love, divine compassion. We open our hearts, welcoming all who are here, present in body, present in consciousness, welcoming all of the parts of ourselves to be present now. Held in the awareness of oneness, we offer compassion to ourselves. We offer compassion to all. We breathe in with a sacred breath. We open our hearts more, sensing that unconditional love that is closer to us than our breath. We hold the space for all to be here now. Breathing in a sacred breath again, we center, we ground, we allow. We declare this time, this gathering as sacred. We are blessed. We are so grateful. And so it is.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. There's quite enough peace, quite enough power to walk through our every fear. For Spirit, one Spirit, is in this very room. There's quite enough love for all the world. In this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. There's quite enough peace, quite enough power to walk through our every fear. For Spirit, one Spirit, is in this very room. It's in this very room.
Thank you, Becca. Imam Jamal Rahman, we know him well, but for those of you who don't know him well, he is a popular speaker on Islam, Sufi spirituality, and interfaith relations. Along with the Interfaith Amigos, he has been featured in the New York Times, CBS, BBC, and various NPR programs. He is the co-founder and Muslim Sufi minister at Interfaith Community Sanctuary in Seattle and the adjunct faculty at Seattle University. He is the author and co-author of several books. His passion lies in interfaith community building. He's originally from Bangladesh, and he has an abiding faith in the power of heart-to-heart connections to encompass differences and dissolve prejudices. He has a private spiritual counseling practice and offers a variety of classes and workshops. So check those out because I'm sure they're virtual right now. We are so grateful you are with us again, this time in person. The last time it was Snow Church, so we had him virtual. We're so glad that you are with us again. Thank you for gracing us with your presence and your wisdom. For our reading this morning, I'm going to read a selection from a new book of poetry that I recently got called Susceptible to Light. It's poetry by Shalon Harkin. She's a local ecstatic mystic poet. And I found her on Facebook, and I'm so glad I did. This is called The Worst Thing. The worst thing we ever did was put God in the sky out of reach, pulling the divinity from the leaf, sifting out the holy from our bones, insisting God isn't bursting dazzlement through everything we've made a hard commitment to see as ordinary, stripping the sacred from everywhere to put in a cloudman elsewhere, prying closeness from your heart. The worst thing we ever did was take the dance and the song out of prayer, made it sit up straight and cross its legs, removed it of its rejoicing, wiped clean its hip sway, its questions, its ecstatic yowl, its tears. The worst thing we ever did is pretend God isn't the easiest thing in this universe, available to every soul in every breath. We allow this to sink into our hearts and souls, blessing the wisdom for each of us. For our affirmation this morning, our month's affirmation for January, I'm going to read it through once, and then we will read it together in one voice. So listen now to these words. I open myself to the new, releasing all that has been, embracing all that is, inviting all that is to come. I stand in the knowing that love and peace are my true reality. I enter this new year full of the promise of all the good that is already happening now for me and for Unity of Bellevue. And so it is. Let's join together in one voice. I open myself to the new, releasing all that has been, embracing all that is, inviting all that is to come. I stand in the knowing that love and peace are my true reality. I enter this new year full of the promise of all of the good that is already happening now for me and for Unity of Bellevue. And so it is.
We are here having a taste in this moment of eternity, being the mirror as well as the face. In this moment of eternity, we breathe in, we breathe out. It's right here, it's right now. We take in, we give out. It's all here, it's all now. We're the sweet cold water and the jar that pours in this moment of eternity. An endless sky and a bird that soars in this moment of eternity. We breathe in, we breathe out. It's right here, it's right now. We take in, we give out. It's all here, it's all now. Our broken remains are whole and pure. We are the pain as well as the cure. We are the love as well as the fear. In this moment of eternity, together alone, all of it here. In this moment of eternity, we breathe in, we breathe out. It's right here, it's right now. We take in, we give out. It's right here, it's right now. Will you join me? Jamie, would you mind leading on this? In this moment of eternity.
In this moment of eternity, in this moment of eternity,
We breathe
in
in.
this moment of eternity,
We breathe
this moment of eternity,
out. Oh,
in
we
this
take
moment
in.
this moment of
We
eternity,
give
in
out.
this moment of eternity,
In this
in
moment
this moment of
of
eternity,
eternity.
this moment of eternity.
In this moment right
this
now.
moment of eternity, in this moment of eternity.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for that beautiful, exquisite music. Rumi says that music is the sound of the spheres, and we all have been a part of this harmony before. And so this beautiful music keeps our remembering fresh. Well, I'm delighted to be here in person. I really mean that. This morning I was saying that, I've become so used on the laptop to look at those rectangles of love. But today here, this is a semi-circle of love. And this is actually a modified, you might say, change of words of Rumi, who says, please come out of the circle of time and enter the circle of love. So I've mentioned Rumi, mystics, and I want to tell you, who are the Sufis? My talk today is about the insights of the Sufi mystics. A big misunderstanding about Sufis or Sufism. You see, Islam has two main denominations, Sunni and Shia, like in Christianity, Catholics and Protestants. Sufism is not, I repeat, not a denomination. It is simply a heartfelt aspiration to live the spirit of Islam without getting too enmeshed into the minutiae of theology, the particulars of ritual, but to really allow the Spirit to perfume your heart and manifest it in beautiful, righteous deeds. Of course, the confusion comes when we see Christians or Buddhists or Jews who are also saying they're Sufis. Do they have to be a Muslim to be a Sufi? Not really, because as long as you're doing the inner inconvenient work of becoming more Christ-like, Krishna-like, Elohim-like, you're a Sufi in that sense. Let me give you an example of the difference between conservative Islam and Sufi Islam. a conservative Muslim will say, Jamal, if you don't do your 5 obligatory prayers, you will burn in hell. You know, all those terrible descriptions of hot scalding water and this and that. A Sufi will say, when you do pray, it is as if you're attending a celestial banquet. And if you don't pray, you're missing out on the feast. That's your punishment. So just a different approach. Okay, so some insights. The first insight is about Islam itself. What does the word Islam really mean? Literally, it means to surrender in peace. The Sufis will ask, but what are you surrendering? What are you surrendering? In the Quran, if you look deep in the Quran is saying you're surrendering your attachment to your ego so that you can bring, as the Quran says, a heart turned in devotion to God. Now, I love the poetry of the Sufis. They will say, what this is really about is for every human being, it's about the divine exchange. The divine exchange. Can I bring, you might say, Jesus or Buddha or Allah in the center of your life and slowly let go of your ego? It's a lifetime process. So here's a Sufi poetry. Jamal, where will you find a customer like God? Where will you find a customer like God who pays in gold? Who accepts your counterfeit coins? Buys your dirty, shabby bag of goods and in return gives a spiritual spring so delicious that even sugar is jealous of its sweetness. For God's sake, say these mystics, sell and buy at once for one little seed the entire rose garden. For one weak breath, the divine breath. Where will you find a market like this? So just be with that. Okay, the second topic is faith. It's called Iman in Islam, having faith. Ask yourself, do I have faith? And what do I mean by having faith? The Sufis say, faith is moving from borrowed certainty to an inner knowing. It's a process, lifetime process. Moving from borrowed certainty to an inner knowing. You know, I'm from Bangladesh, as Monica had said. There's a Bengali poet, Tagore, who said, faith is like the bird. Faith is like that bird that sings in the dark, knowing that dawn is coming. So now I want to introduce you to a great Sufi teacher who actually is fictional, the mullah. He has a turban, has a beard, and he's famous all over the world. It started since the 13th century. He's like a village idiot and a sage rolled into one. He loves to laugh. And through laughter, or through the wisdom of his laughter, he invites us to go deeper into life. So here's a story of the mullah, and somebody knocks on his door. It's his wonderful friend, and he has brought with him some wild ducks he has hunted. So together they make a wonderful pot of hearty duck soup. They really enjoy it. But the next day, there's a knock on the door. Who is it? Oh, I'm a friend of the friend who brought you those ducks. Oh, welcome, welcome, please have some duck soup. But second day, third day, fourth day, there's always somebody knocking. I'm a friend of the friend of the friend of the friend who brought you the duck soup. So he feeds him again soup. Wait, happens another time. I'm a friend of the friend of the friend who brought you those ducks. The mullah seats the guest. He goes to the kitchen and he just brings hot water. And the guest is excited, begins to taste the soup, says, this is no duck soup. The mullah says, yes, this is the soup of the soup of the soup of the soup of the soup. But there's a deep meaning here. My faith, usually, sadly, because I'm not mindful, is a soup of the soup of the soup of somebody else's belief. It doesn't emerge from within. And unless it does, it's not real faith. So just be with that. Moving from borrowed certainty to an inner knowing which emerges from within. Okay, third topic, very important for Sufis, because this is one of the primary reasons we are on planet Earth. It's called ihsan. It's to become a more complete, a more developed human being. See, if you ask a Sufi, what's my purpose in life? You know, none of us has a cosmic mission statement. We're just wondering, what is going on? Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? Well, this reminds me of a story, a mullah story actually, allegorical. The mullah is in the tavern, drinking. It's 4 a.m. He's intoxicated. He stumbles out and he's walking the streets aimlessly. And a policeman accosts him and says, "Sir, who are you? Where are you coming from? Where are you going at this time?" The mullah says, "Sir, if I knew the answer to all those questions, I would be home already." It sums up our life. So the Sufi will say, we are here probably for 2 reasons. One is to become more Christ-like, Allah-like, Buddha-like, Elohim-like, Krishna-like. That's one half. The other half is to be of service to God's creation. So this third part, to become a more beautiful human being, the Sufis lay a lot of emphasis on that. The first part of becoming a more complete, developed, spiritual human being is to transform the ego. I repeat, to transform the ego from a commanding master into a personal assistant. Just be with that. This is a large part of my work. To transform the ego from a commanding master into a personal assistant. That's why it's called the inner inconvenient work. Rumi says, if you really want to sum it up, here's a poetry. Marry your soul. That wedding is the way. Marry your soul, your higher self. That wedding is the way. Every day, every week, every month, every year, make every effort to align your personality to come closer and closer and closer to your higher self, whatever your belief system is. Christ nature, Buddha nature, Elohim nature, Allah nature. Prophet Muhammad said, this is the work of know thyself, and you shall know thy sustainer, the divine spark within you. Another sentence he uttered very beautifully. He said, die before you die. Die to your false self before you die a physical death. One of the ways of doing this work is compassionate self-witnessing. The word compassion is very critical. With mercy, with gentleness. Observe yourself. Make changes. Make mistakes. Learn from them. Grow from them. Have experiences in life. Bring your personality, which is nothing more than a bundle of conditioned reactions to life's circumstances. Bring it closer and closer to your higher self. So here comes the mullah to help you. Monica mentioned I work with the Interfaith Amigos. Here's our favorite mullah story about our stuck patterns, which I've said here many times actually. The mullah goes to work. Lunchtime opens his lunch pail box. What does he find? Anybody remember? A cheese sandwich. Second day, third day, fourth day, it's always a lousy cheese sandwich. On the 10th day, I'm getting sick and tired of this lousy cheese sandwich. So his puzzled co-worker said, Mullah, why don't you ask your wife, be persuasive, to make you a different kind of sandwich? I'm not married. Who makes them? I do. Think about it. Story of our lives. Let me give you another one. Excuses. Somebody goes to the mullah, knocks on his door, can I borrow your donkey? That's done in that part of the world. The mullah doesn't want to give the donkey, so he makes up an excuse. He lies. Oh, brother, if only you had come 5 minutes ago. Somebody else came and took my donkey. Unfortunately, just at that time, the donkey in the stable begins to bray. But I hear your donkey. The mullah's caught. What does he do? Who will you believe, me or the donkey? And the excuses get more and more complicated. Let me give a third one. Our slavish dependence on pundits and experts. The mullah is gravely ill. Everybody is lamenting and crying, and the wife is weeping and weeping. And now comes the expert, the authority. Who is that? The allopathic doctor, who examines the mullah at length and then says, I'm so sorry, O wife of the mullah, your husband's soul has flown to the bosom of God. Only Allah is immortal, he's dead. But the mullah is not dead. He's quietly saying, feebly saying, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive. What does the wife say? Quiet, don't argue with the doctor. So think about it, in my life, what am I so slavishly dependent on in terms of authorities, experts? Okay. Let's continue with this inner inconvenient work, because that was the ego. The other part we have to work on is the heart. Sufis make a wonderful explanation. Work on your ego and work on your heart, which is mentioned 132 times in the Quran. And there are many metaphors. One metaphor is purify your heart. The Quran says, you know, when we have wrong thoughts, evil behavior, it creates a rust on the heart. And the Prophet Muhammad said, for every rust, there is a polish. And the polish for the rust of the heart is remembrance of God. So using God's solvents, as it were, patience, love, compassion, capacity to forgive, to polish and polish and polish and polish your heart, remove the rust, so that when you bring it to God, it is so polished, it reflects the face of Allah in the mirror of your heart. Because the Sufis say, everything you have is from God. What can you offer God? The only offering you can make to God is a polished heart. So the face of Allah is reflected in that. And the mystics say, Jamal, carry on with this work of polishing and polishing the heart. If you get irritated by every rub, how will the mirror of your heart ever be polished? If you get irritated by every rub, how will the mirror of your heart ever be polished? There's another metaphor about opening up the heart. You hear this term, opening up the heart. And this is really about embracing not only my 10,000 joys of life, but also embracing my 10,000 sorrows of life. See, I would prefer to avoid, deny my anger, my hate, my sadness. But those are energies that have an edge only because they're separated from me. They're begging I'll quote actually Carl Jung, who says, they're begging to be kissed. Will you have the courage and the grace for once in your life to kiss the demons and dragons within you? That is how they turn into a prince or princess. Rumi's poetry, take a pickaxe and break open your stony heart. The heart's matrix is glutted with rubies. Springs of laughter are buried in your chest. So no matter how often your heart breaks, continue to love, continue to forgive again and again and again, and you'll feel an incredible inner spaciousness. Okay, just be with that for a few moments. Okay, one or two more topics. God. What is the Sufi understanding of God? Well, there are some Quranic verses. One verse in the Quran says, if all the trees in the universe became pens, and all the 7 oceans became ink, and you began to write out the mysteries of God, you wouldn't come close to describing a fraction of the fraction of the fraction of God's mysteries. And to this, Rumi, when he read this, he uttered, in matters of the invisible, talking about God, sell your cleverness and buy bewilderment. Sell your cleverness and buy bewilderment. Cleverness might be opinion, judgment. Bewilderment might be naked vision. Another verse in the Quran, God, or Allah, the God of all of humanity, is closer to you than your jugular vein. God is closer to you than your jugular vein. I love the story of this very beautiful, most beloved female sage and saint in Islam named Rabia. And one day she was walking the streets of Basra in Iraq, and there was this famous Sufi master with his adoring students, and he was telling them, you know, Allah, God is so compassionate. All you have to do is just knock and knock and knock on Allah's door. Keep knocking, keep knocking, keep knocking, keep knocking, and one day the door will open. Rabia, who was passing by, said, brother, when was the door ever closed? And the teacher gets up and just bows to her, and that's the end of the story. I keep looking at time because, as you know, I'm from the East. And we in the East, we talk and talk and talk and talk. If somebody snores, when you're snoring, I'll know it's time to stop. But I'll be compassionate. I'm keeping track of it. Okay, one more verse from the Quran, maybe. Very famous one. Every soul where you turn is the face of Allah. This has many levels of meaning. Let me just take one level. Therefore, if I meet my enemy, is my enemy also the face of Allah? Yes. I'm against that, my enemy's behavior. That is unacceptable. But I'm not against that enemy's essence, sacred core, divine spark. I keep saying Christ nature, Buddha nature, Elohim nature. So this wonderful mystic says, you know, if you meet somebody adversarial, do what is right. Protect yourself. Don't allow yourself to be abused. Take the right action. But as you take the right action, please never keep this person's essence out of your heart. And just this differentiation, discernment, as you take the right action, has the power to shift heaven and earth. Okay. Let me want to move on to prayer. Have you seen Muslims pray ever? They'll go like this, they'll go like this, they'll prostrate. So, this is called body prayer. using the gift of a body and bowing and prostrating. This is a story of the mullah where it's allegorical. The mullah is in jail for life. But he's happy now. Why is he happy? Because he has heard that his teacher has permission to visit him. And he's happy because he knows the teacher will for sure slip in a weapon or a crowbar or something to escape the prison. The teacher comes, kisses him here, kisses him there, and just gives him a prayer rug. You've seen prayer rugs of Muslims. And mullah is so disappointed. Of what use is this to me? But he just thanks him. The teacher goes away. And the mullah has time on his hand. He spreads out the prayer rug. He reluctantly goes, Allahu Akbar, God, you're the greatest, the most compassionate. And he thanks God, bows, prostrates. Doesn't mean a word what he's saying. But over the days and weeks, he suddenly realized that there's a special design in the prayer rug. He looks closely. It's a design of an escape route from the prison. The power of prayer. I show it to my Buddhist friends. They say, this is the power of mindfulness. I show it to some other friends like, maybe Christian friends who say, this is the power of devotion. But there's a power in prayer. And by using the body, when you bow and prostrate, the Sufis say one prostration of prayer to God liberates you, frees you from 1,000 prostrations to your ego. Okay, before we do a meditation, I'll just touch upon one or two more items which are important. Service. To be a lamp, a lifeboat, or a ladder to others. Remember I said one half of our work is to become a more complete human being. The other half is to be of service to God's creation. Prophet Muhammad said, do good deeds according to your capacity. God never tires of giving rewards unless you tire of doing good deeds. The good deeds most loved by God are the ones that are done regularly, no matter how small they are. Ask yourself, what could I be doing regularly, no matter how small they are? Because our soul feels such joy in being of service. We have no idea. Tagore has this poem. I hope some of you know it by heart. I slept and dreamt. Life was joy. I awoke and found life was service. I served. And behold, service was joy. Okay, the last point before I do a short meditation is community. We all desperately need community. Especially as I'm getting older. I'm involved in a lot of programs. They say, why is it people when they get much older and older, they need community more and more. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to have a good death. We need community. But we need community for being engaged in life, to be willing to be vulnerable and grow from it, to share spiritual practices together. The mystics say a wall standing alone is useless. Add to it other walls, it can support a roof, even a granary. Only when ink joins with a pen can the blank paper say something. And of course, I love Rumi's words, please come out of the circle of time and enter the circle of love. With that, a short meditation. Just close your eyes, please. And focus on your nostril. And for a few moments, simply be present with your breath as you inhale and as you exhale. Okay. let go of that, eyes still closed. Focus on your heart. If you like, put your hand over your heart or both hands. Feel your heart. Our heart has been yearning, aching, thirsting to connect with us. Please feel the heartbeat. Just as Allah is the breath within the breath, Allah, God, is the heartbeat within the heartbeat. And then, through the heart, listen to these words that came to the Prophet Muhammad in a dream when God says to each one of us, "Beloved one, I cannot be contained in the space of the earth. I cannot be contained in the space of the heavens, but I can be contained in the space of the pure, loving heart." And now some words of beauty. The Sufi suggests as you focus on the heart, unabashedly, lovingly, with feeling, no matter how awkward it feels, plant words of beauty, words like, "I love you," or "Please help me to love you. I really love you," and or "Thank you. I am so grateful." You can continue, "Please help me. I need help. I surrender to you." And as you keep repeating these words again and again and again, you can never overdo this. "I love you. Please help me to love you. Thank you. I am so grateful. Please help me. I need help." As you keep saying that, a most beautiful divine vibration filled with love, blessings, healing, goes from your tongue into your mouth, into your throat, deep into your chest, into your heart, into what is called the hidden, and then into the hidden of the hidden, amazingly blessing us, loving us, healing us. And I'll stop saying anything at all. I'll do a chant. When I finish the chant, just come into awareness. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Gently open your eyes. And thank you, my dear friends, for your graciousness and generosity. Thank you. Thank you.
O light of light, form and hue, who has created all things new, create in me from shapeless clay an instrument on which you play. One of the dance the planets tread, who walks beside and soars ahead. Let me move to worship thee. Come, Holy Spirit, dance with me. God of the living word, poet of time, teach me your words in your cadence cadence and rhyme. O Lord of beauty, Lord of art, who gives a song for every heart, carve out my life, reshape and mold, and be the artist of my soul. Teach me your words in your cadence and rhyme. O Lord of beauty, Lord of art, who gives a song for every heart, carve out my life, reshape and mold, be the artist of my soul. Carve out my life, reshape and mold, and be the artist of my soul.
Hello, Unity of Bellevue. I hope we're starting in the right time. So my name is Jean Palmetier, and I'm one of the Board of Trustees for Unity of Bellevue. Hello from my heart. This is the time of the service when we welcome visitors and in group consciousness to affirm our center's abundance. Thank you to Susan Knighted for a terrific meditation, and also heartfelt thank you to Imam Jamal Rahman. Hopefully I said that right. I had to chuckle a little bit when he said that those from the East just talk. My soul must have been born in the East. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Becca Palm for providing our music today. It truly warms my heart to see her at the piano and hear her and Jamie sing. Her music over the last few years has deepened my spiritual practice, and I truly am grateful. This is the first time this year that I've been in front of all of you, and you may notice I'm not really with you. I'm virtual. I'm remote. You will see us more and more into a true hybrid model, which reaches a greater community and really provides more flexibility for the individual. But it takes a lot of support to make this happen. And so if you have a chance, please stop by and just thank Monica McDowell Elvig, Sabrina McFadden, or Daniel McFadden. Those three people have been just instrumental in making all of this happen, and they're just doing marvelous work. So please send some love their way. I also wanted to take this opportunity to tell you that we're recruiting new board members for a membership vote in March. If you have any pull to do this work, just been thinking about it, have some questions, reach out to one of us and let us know. We'd be happy to talk to you more. So this is the first time I've talked to you this year, and I kind of want to comment a little bit. You've heard a little bit this month about renewal and some underlying messages of how to deal with change. As you know, we're in the process of a pretty big change, a ministerial transition. I'd like to affirm publicly and wish Reverend Marla the best and know for her peace and ease. I would also like to do the same publicly to welcome whoever divine order has in mind for us with love and an open heart. You might notice I'm wearing green today. It's a message of encouragement for renewal. We tend to focus on the principle of abundance as in monetary value, but today I want to submit to you that abundance of any kind starts with love. Love of yourself, love of each other, and love of our center. I'd like to encourage each of you in 2022 to heal rifts through spiritual practice, to seek out those that you feel may have hurt you, someone or someone you love, something you love. As was said earlier today, kiss your dragons. Forgive, let go. Transform your ego from a commanding master into a personal assistant. As you forgive, you open your heart. You renew. You polish your heart. Renewal creates opportunity for spaciousness and for abundance. Now we're to the point of abundance. When you create abundance, you can recirculate it. That is true for any kind of abundance, including monetary value. As you transition into monetary abundance, please consider circulating it within Unity of Bellevue. I'd like to affirm here and now that 2022 is an abundant year for you individually and for our center as a whole. On the screen, hopefully, because I can't see it at the same time you guys can, but hopefully there are ways that you can involve Unity of Bellevue in your recirculation of monetary abundance. If you're visiting us today for the first time, we only ask that you get a welcome package and consider coming back. Don't worry about the contribution, but if you want to contribute, that's certainly fine. With the idea of renewal, though, generated by love and the feeling of an open heart, please join me in our offering blessing. I give freely and for the joy of giving. I know that seeds sown in love produce an overwhelming harvest of good for me, for this center, and for all people. Lovingly I give, joyfully I receive, and so it is.
We give thanks for these tithes and love offerings. We give thanks for all the gifts of sacred service on behalf of Unity of Bellevue and our surrounding communities by our members and our friends. We give thanks for the gift of each person here to the collective good of us all. We give thanks for the blessing of Brother Jamal's message, for the blessing of Becca's music. We commit these gifts to the highest and best good for us and for all. We are so grateful, and so it is. In the spirit of thanks, I'd like to take a moment just to thank all of those who have participated in sacred service in the month of January, either on a Sunday morning or during the week, cleaning up the grounds. If you have in your present, would you stand so we can just give some appreciation for all of you who have been doing sacred service in the month of January, and let us show our appreciation. And Howard up in there, and Linda, and I know Jim is out there somewhere too. And I know that there's several of you online as well, so thank you very much for your gifts as well. For our announcements this morning, we welcome you. If you are joining with us for the first time, we welcome you. We invite you to, if you're here in person, to go to our welcome table and to take a welcome packet with you. We'd love to have you fill out the connection card that's in that welcome packet so we can stay connected to you. If you are online, you can go to our website, unityofbellevue.org. On the I'm New page, you can request a welcome packet as well. And the best way to stay in touch with us is at the bottom of every page on our website is a sign-up form for our weekly e-newsletter. That's the best way to get everything that's happening here around our center. Thank you for being with us. Your presence blesses us. The flowers today are given in memory of Shelley Lish's mom, Dee Danner, her birthday. So thank you, Shelley, and thank you, Linda, for the beautiful flowers. The prayer chaplains are here to pray with you. Susan Neidig is our prayer chaplain. She'll be in the library following service. It's a hybrid prayer service now. If you would like to join online, there is a Zoom link on our launch page. You can also send prayer requests to them at prayerchaplains@unityofbellevue.org. Fill out the prayer request cards by the south entrance. Also, just be aware that the youth classrooms are online. If you have kids or youth who would like to do that virtual classroom that Sabrina puts together every month. Those are on our youth and family page on our website, so check those out. Also, coming up, Metaphysical Lent, the Spiraling Path. There was a little notice in the newsletter this past Thursday. If you would like to contribute something creative around the topic of the spiraling path, it doesn't have to be just writing. It could be a photo, it could be music, it could be any kind of art, fabric art, anything that just speaks to you about the spiraling path. We are going to be submitting all of those to Mandy via email, electronically, and then we're going to be sharing them with our community during the month of March and into April during Metaphysical Lent. So be thinking about that, and we'll be keeping you posted on our newsletter about that. Thank you again to Brother Jamal for being here. Thank you for Becca for being here. We are so grateful for all of our people who are helping us put together our hybrid services. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Thank you. Next week, we have an interesting opportunity to experience our technology. Both our speaker and our guest artist will be virtual and be broadcast onto our screen. So we're so grateful during this time of COVID that we have the opportunity to do that. Okay, Jamie and Becca are going to sing us out with a peace song, followed by the prayer for protection. Surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Blessings to everyone. Have a great week. Love to you all.
Hold on to me, don't let me go. Who cares what they see? Who cares what they know? Your first name is free, last name is dumb. Just used to believe in where we are from. Man's red flower is in every living thing. Mind, use your power. Spirit, use your wings. Freedom, 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 freedom. La 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 la. Hold on to me, don't let me go. Cheetahs need to eat, run antelope. Your first name is King, last name is Dumb, 'cause you still believe in everyone. Baby first breathes when night sees sunrise. Will hunts the sea when man recognizes freedom, 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 freedom. La 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 la. Freedom, breathe in, freedom, freedom. We are from heat, electric wonder, to shock you to see. Left us the sun, atoms in the air, organisms in the sea, the sun and yes man, we're all from the same thing. Freedom, 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 freedom.